Our story begins in a small provincial town. A school bus arrives and brings our main character to his own home. He leisurely gets off the bus, thinking about something on the way out. He walks past other students who have just gotten off the bus, not paying any attention to them. After a short walk, he walks to his huge new house. There is a small courtyard near the house with a tree and some bushes. He approaches the door, smoothly brings his hand up and pulls the front door handle. When he opened the doors, he stepped into the hallway and saw the huge kitchen, which was a mess. Everything was scattered, and there were a few boxes on the floor. Meanwhile, his mother was in the same kitchen taking all the boxes apart to put everything in its place because they had recently moved to another town. His mom decided to ask Tyler how things were going at the new school, but Tyler very quickly ran past Mom to the steps to the second floor, saying that he would talk to her a little later. Mom was very surprised because she didn't understand why she was in such a hurry. But suddenly, Tyler went to the second floor and said that he was in a hurry to meet his friends on the Minecraft server. Mom did not stop him and did not want to interfere because she understood that it was very hard for him without his friends in the new city. Tyler ran into his room, quickly opening the doors, and saw the mess. The room was piled with things, comic books, and unpacked boxes from the move. On the wall hung a huge poster of the creeper's face. Leaving his backpack behind, he immediately rushed to his computer. He wanted to get to his friends as soon as possible. He turned on his monitor and computer, started up Minecraft, and sat down comfortably. Then he took his headphones, put them on his head and checked that the microphone was working. Everything should be perfect. Then came the moment of truth. He logged into his profile and was about to start the game when suddenly he remembered that he hadn't texted his friends. Tyler took his phone out of his pocket, opened Messenger, went into their group chat room, and texted that he was about to join the game, to which his friends reacted very wildly. They waited a long time for him. They couldn't wait to play with their longtime friend. Tyler went into Minecraft, saw the main menu, where he had to choose single player or multiplayer. Of course, he was playing with his friends on the server, so he chose his realms, and then clicked the coveted connect button. While it was loading, Tyler closed his eyes, remembering what had happened to him and his friends on that server. Refreshing his memory in this way, it was as if he was transported into the world of the game, getting the effect of total immersion. After a full loading, he appeared on a beautiful bridge. As soon as Tyler appeared in the game, he got a message from his friends, something he hadn't expected. But as he turned on and listened to the message, where all his friends, Evan, Candice, Grace, and Toby, were waiting for him outside their shared house, he was immediately delighted and hurried to them. Tyler opened his inventory and fumbled for one ender pearl there, for a quick teleportation of several dozen blocks. With one slight movement of his hand, he tossed the ender pearls somewhere in the distance for teleportation and began to wait for the pearls to land. As soon as the pearls landed, Tyler instantly disappeared and began his journey through the wondrous world. Just a second later, he appeared not far from the house, then unharmed and immediately rushed to his friends. The house was visible in the distance behind a small mountain. As he got closer to the mountain, Tyler stopped at a crossroads and carefully studied all the signs. At the very top of the mountain, he could see a beautiful and huge house called the Hibiscus. After checking where he was going, he went to that house. Upon opening the door, Tyler was shocked. He didn't expect to see such a thing. All of his friends had decided to surprise him since they hadn't seen each other in a long time. Tyler was pleasantly surprised and a little freaked out by the surprise. Evan, Candice, Grace, and Toby immediately rushed over to him and started hugging him. They were all best friends and they really missed Tyler. Meanwhile, there was a delicious cake waiting for him in the room, and there were diamond armor and weapons hanging on the wall, as well as the heads of various mobs. Tyler didn't understand why they had decided to surprise him, but they explained that this was how they wanted to celebrate his return to the team after the move. Candice approached Tyler and explained that this was their first game together since he had moved away. They wanted to do something special for him. Evan, on the other hand, rushed over to show off the beautiful cake they had all baked together for Tyler. The cake was massive and probably delicious. Tyler was very pleased. He wasn't expecting them to decide to surprise him, but Candice decided to interrupt him and started asking him about how the move went. After that, Grace and Toby came in asking about the move. They all wanted to know as much as they could because they missed him so much. Tyler is a little taken aback. He doesn't really like to talk about the move, but still, he gathers his thoughts and tells them that he moved to a new house, which is bigger than the previous one. And at school no one wants to communicate with him. He is also forced to wear a school uniform. Evan is outraged and says it sucks. Candace, on the other hand, sympathizes with Tyler, knowing full well that this is a very difficult ordeal even for her. But Tyler doesn't get upset and follows her mother's advice, wait a little and give it a chance. At the same time, Toby can't stand it and jumps on Tyler, talking about his great desire to show him everything they have prepared and built during his absence. Grace and Candace don't mind telling him what they've had time to do either, as no one has sat idly by. Toby began to show the new mine he had dug with his own hands, and also laid an entire railroad. Candace built a huge pen for the sheep, and even managed to catch a rare pink sheep, which she was incredibly proud of. Grace was showing a new portal to the Nether. Not that they didn't have one, but Candace accidentally blew up the creeper at the old portal, so they had to build a new one. Tyler can't take his eyes off it all and is very proud of the guys, but Evan says that's not all there is to it. Tyler was shocked to hear that. He couldn't have imagined that his friends would manage to do so much during his absence. At this point, Evan passes the word to the girls. Grace offers to go outside with him and close Tyler's eyes, so he doesn't peek because another incredible surprise awaits him, to which Tyler cautiously agrees. Tyler firmly closes his eyes and goes first, with Evan accompanying him and everyone else following behind. They all make their way to the arena they have recently built. Heading for the steps, his friends tell him that they've wanted to build a beacon at the base for a long time, but they need a nether star to do so. It's not an easy task because to get the star, they'll need to summon the Wither. Grace says that it will take a lot of Wither skeleton skulls, which really scares Evan. After all, he hates going to the Nether more than anyone else, although Grace loves being there and considers it a second home dimension. Evan does not like to be there because of the trauma that happened to him because of Pigman, but he does not like to tell about it. Evan pulls himself together and tells Tyler that with the new portal, Grace and Candace were able to find a new Nether fortress, even though it was quite difficult. At this time, Tyler opens his eyes and sees Candace and Grace holding the Wither skeleton skull. He can't believe it. He really wasn't expecting it. Grace brings the skull closer and shows it to Tyler, who is surprised and realizes that they have already managed to get to skulls. Only one is left, and then they can summon the Wither. Tyler picks up the skulls, and Evan offers to put that skull right on the sand of the shower. With a little apprehension and caution, Tyler approaches the figure in the soul sand where one skull is already placed, and carefully places the second skull on the opposite side. The friends stand and look at the almost ready figure for the summoning Wither, and Evan says that they will try to finish the arena before the next meeting. While Grace and Candace try to get the last skull, Evan, as well as the rest of the team, are thrilled that Tyler is finally back and able to play with them. That's why they wanted to prepare such a surprise for him. However, it was getting late and Tyler's mom sent him a text saying that it was time for him to go to bed. He said goodbye to his friends and said he could only play with them next weekend. Tyler felt calm and comfortable in his heart. He left the game, took his headphones off his head, got up from his desk, turned off his computer and monitor, and then went to bed. What happened next? We'll find out in the next video. Like, subscribe and write in the comments who you like best, Grace, Evan, Candace, Tyler or Toby.